What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is March the 14th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, PPI just came out a little bit higher than anticipated, but the market seemed to not give two craps. This might be a similar kind of scenario to CPI, because CPI did come out a little bit hotter than anticipated. And what did happen was pre-market, it started to recover, and as soon as the market did open, it tanked. So I don't know, once again, if this might be a very similar circumstance, but right here, fear and greed index has been creeping up. It was, I think, 64 like a day or 2 days ago. So now 74, and most likely it will creep up into this extreme greed section probably today as well. So definitely will be really good for the broader market, and a lot of spec plays and AI plays and whatever else. And a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on are definitely benefiting from this. So starting off with stock number one, SOFI. Slightly up, nothing really crazy about news, SEC filings, so it's just piggybacking off the broader market's momentum. Shorts aren't doing anything, but 18.72% of the free float is being shorted. So as you can kind of see right here, getting rid of all this stuff, it is on a very dangerous trend. So obviously Alex Karp, so Palantir's CEO, did a pretty good message to shorters. So I don't know if Anthony can do a similar kind of scenario, but we'll just have to wait and see. And as of right now, so it's kind of just stuck in limbo between this S1 and the pivot. I've been bringing this up over the last like 3 videos. So 717 is going to be the next strong support, and then around 750 as well. That's going to be more of a artificial resistance brought on by options. And a lot of big money has been getting into SoFi through options over the last couple of days. So again, something to kind of consider. Moving on, PayPal definitely has been flexing a lot of its strength. So yesterday kind of talked on the whole buyback, and I believe they stated that it's going to be done within this year. So I think that's absolutely huge. Pre-market is up 0.7%. Again, no official news, no SEC filings. Shorts aren't doing all that much. So 2.01% of the free float being shorted, 21.46 million shares overall are being shorted. PayPal is definitely not a squeeze play by any means, but right now with it at 62.75, it is between this pivot and this R1. So when it comes down to PayPal, their technicals and their price action has been very predictable, and of course in more of an upward momentum, as you can kind of tell. So going into today, just watch for it to kind of touch this 63.82. I don't think right now, given the circumstances, there's enough for it to break above, unless there's some other situation that does happen. But technicals are looking very much primed and ready for a nice continuation and a breakout. So yesterday, it was a big accomplishment for it to get above this pivot point. It's been struggling with that for almost a week now. So I think bigger and better things might be coming PayPal's way. SoundHound. So I did a dedicated video all about them. They are a crazy play that has a lot of different interesting aspects to it. So right now it is up 10.52%, largely because of this news. Actually, 2 stocks I'm going to be talking on are both benefiting from this. So the European Union passes first global AI regulation. Obviously, you guys can do your further due diligence, and plus just take a look at my dedicated video. I put it out late last night about SoundHound, but shorts are still increasing. 12.22% of the free float is being shorted. 32.67 million shares overall are being shorted. It is interesting to note, though, it is no longer on the threshold list. So no doubtably, based on yesterday's rally, which did go up almost 25%, a lot of that was maybe behind the scenes shorting that was covering. And so as I've done videos on it in the past, I bring up dark pool transactions as well. Clearly, shorts were just using that and not really the secondary market affecting it, because for them to clear up their threshold list and it to go up only 25%, I feel like that's not really justified if you kind of consider it that way. But with it right now at $9.44, you just have to watch this $9.54. So that's going to be a big transition for it. But as I mentioned in my video yesterday, I think it does need to pull down slightly today. Obviously a little bit higher still than 865, but where it closed, it's very overdone based on the technicals. And even though this is relatively good news, I don't know if this is sufficient to keep it outside the Bollinger Band, but what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. So just watch for this 954 as a pivot point for today. If it does get above it, then yeah, it definitely will continue its crazy momentum that it's on. Second, or whatever, fourth stock is Robinhood. So they came out with their February results, better than anticipated. Market absolutely loves it, up 11.31% pre-market. Crazy stuff. So if you don't know what Robinhood does, you can always pause it, read through it and everything. A lot of the other stocks I've already kind of talked on quite frequently under this channel. But when it comes down to Robinhood, this is what they do. But on a side note, if you ever are looking for a lot of good compiled information, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. Has all the press releases, SEC filings, transcripts, fireside chats, news, everything that you ever need to know about any stock in one location. So take advantage of that. Link in the description below and also the comments. But as far as right now, this company is not really heavily shorted. So Robinhood, 5.83% of the free float's being shorted, 33.64 million shares overall are being shorted. And if you are looking at trading it with it at 1909 so far, it is between this R2 and this R3. So just watch for 1817 to hold as a strong support, and then $20.47 will be that next strong resistance. In my opinion, based on the results, I don't see it justified to be past this R3. So probably it's just going to be the lower percentile within these kind of 2 points right here. But then again, I could be very much wrong about that. And finally, last stock I want to talk on is Big Bear. So it is benefiting based off of this news, like I kind of mentioned, European Union and whatever else, because there isn't anything associated to the company itself. They did submit a couple Form 4s late last night, so after hours. Not the best. It does show insiders selling a pretty substantial amount. This is one for an example, and it is transaction code S, so it isn't F. S does mean a straight up sale, whereas F is for tax purposes. So a lot of these insiders, so this is the chief accounting officer, is selling. So this is I'm not really a fan of insiders selling, especially as a group. It does show maybe there is some information that is coming. I'm not really sure. And plus, this isn't scheduled by any means. You can kind of see that down here. So aside from that, though, this company is heavily shorted. 23.21% of the free float is being shorted. 11.87 million shares overall are being shorted. If you are looking at trading this, though, with this at $2.82, it is between this S1 and the pivot. So just watch 289. That's going to be a strong pivot point for Big Bear. And then aside from that, 206 is going to be that very strong support. And based on everything, I don't see that's going to be touched at all today. If anything, it's probably going to touch this pivot point and probably break above that, especially with a lot of good momentum and the level of shorts. Definitely, it's very interesting. And even pre-market, all the stocks I'm talking on, with the exception somewhat of SoFi, is getting a lot of money pumped into it. So who knows on how today will turn out, but based on so far the fear and greed index and everything, I think bigger and better things might be coming down the pipeline. So with all that said, I appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.